commercial music, and it's a great music, and there's fantastic talents.
At 77 years old, Steve Winwood's musical journey stretches across some of the most defining eras in rock history. From his early days with the Spencer Davis Group to his groundbreaking work with Traffic and Blind Faith, Winwood developed a deep understanding of what makes a rock album stand out, not just musically, but emotionally and creatively. Over decades of collaboration, experimentation, and innovation, he has collected a personal list of albums that shaped him, inspired him, and stayed with him throughout the years. These records aren't chosen for popularity alone. They reflect moments of artistic brilliance that resonated with him on a profound level. Today, he finally opens up about the 10 rock albums that left the biggest imprint on his life and career. Before diving in, make sure to subscribe. More legendary musicians and their personal picks are coming soon. 10. Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, Derek and the Dominoes. Steve Winwood's admiration for Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs comes from a deeply personal place. He witnessed this era of music as it was being born, playing alongside many musicians who contributed to the album's emotional gravity. What captured Winwood most was how raw and unpolished the record felt. Every guitar riff, every vocal line, and every blues-soaked melody seemed to come directly from the soul without filters. The turbulent energy between Eric Clapton and Duane Allman gave the album a unique fire, something Winwood often described as lightning trapped in a room. He appreciated how the record blended rock and blues without losing emotional vulnerability. To him, Layla wasn't just a breakup album, it was a testament to the power of honest expression in music. It reminded him why musicians create in the first place: to feel deeply and let it pour out. 9. Led Zeppelin IV, Led Zeppelin. For Steve Winwood, Led Zeppelin IV represented the moment rock music broke completely free of boundaries. He admired how Zeppelin created a record that felt mythical yet grounded, heavy yet spiritual. Stairway to Heaven alone could secure its legacy, but Winwood was drawn to the entire range, from the crunch of Black Dog to the wild, folk-influenced textures of Going to California. He appreciated how the album showed that rock could be both thunderous and poetic at the same time. What impressed him most was Zeppelin's ability to make every track feel like its own universe, crafted with precision but delivered with raw power. As a musician who valued experimentation, Winwood saw Led Zeppelin IV as a milestone that inspired countless artists to take creative risks. To him, it wasn't just a legendary rock album, it was a masterclass in ambition and atmosphere. 8. Electric Ladyland, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Steve Winwood had the rare privilege of working closely with Jimi Hendrix, and Electric Ladyland held a very special place in his heart. The album felt like an entire world exploding with creativity. Psychedelic, unpredictable, and emotionally charged. Winwood admired Hendrix's fearlessness in the studio, how he used sound as a painter uses color, stretching rock music into unexplored territory. Tracks like Voodoo Child, Slight Return, carried a power that Winwood described as otherworldly, while songs like Rainy Day, Dream Away revealed Hendrix's playful, jazz-infused side. Winwood was struck by Hendrix's ability to merge technical brilliance with instinct, crafting a soundscape that felt both chaotic and perfectly controlled. 7. Who's Next? The Who's Next always impressed Steve Winwood with its boldness and clarity. He admired how The Who embraced synthesizers without losing their rock identity, crafting an album that felt both futuristic and fiercely grounded. What drew Winwood in most was the emotional sincerity behind Pete Townshend's writing. Songs like Behind Blue Eyes and Won't Get Fooled Again carried a sense of rebellion mixed with reflection. Winwood respected the band's ability to create powerful, stadium-shaking rock songs while still embedding thoughtful storytelling. He often pointed out how the album's sonic innovations shaped the path for modern rock, proving that technology and authenticity could coexist. 6. Innervisions, Stevie Wonder. Steve Winwood always spoke with admiration about Innervisions, calling it one of the most beautifully constructed albums of the 1970s. He valued how Stevie Wonder blended soul, funk, and rock into something deeply personal and socially powerful. What struck Winwood most was the emotional honesty throughout the record. Songs like Living for the City tackled real struggles with a courage that resonated with him as both a musician and a human being. He appreciated Wonder's mastery of instrumentation, especially the way he layered synthesizers to create warm, rich textures. For Winwood, the album felt alive, filled with spiritual energy and musical sophistication. 5. Revolver, The Beatles. Steve Winwood considered Revolver one of the most transformative records in rock history. He admired how the Beatles reinvented themselves with every project, but Revolver felt like their most daring leap into the unknown. What captivated Winwood was the album's diversity, psychedelic experiments, soulful melodies, and inventive production techniques all coexisting seamlessly. He often described Revolver as a turning point, where rock music became a playground for imagination. Tracks like Eleanor Rigby showed emotional depth rarely heard in pop at the time, while Tomorrow Never Knows pushed sonic boundaries with loops, effects, and dreamlike atmospheres. 4. Déja Vu, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Steve Winwood admired Déja Vu for its emotional warmth and intricate harmonies. He often described the album as a conversation between four musical souls, each bringing their personal stories, strengths, and vulnerabilities into the mix. What fascinated him was how different the members were, yet how beautifully their voices blended together. The acoustic textures, the folk rock storytelling, and the honesty in the songwriting created an atmosphere Winwood found deeply moving. Songs like Helpless and Our House captured simple human experiences in ways that felt both tender and profound. 3. Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Dark Side of the Moon fascinated Steve Winwood with its ambition and emotional depth. He admired how Pink Floyd created a sonic landscape that felt like a journey, philosophical, haunting, and beautifully orchestrated. Winwood appreciated the meticulous craftsmanship behind every track, from the heartbeat rhythms to the ethereal vocal layers and atmospheric guitar work. What impressed him most was how the album spoke about life's biggest pressures: time, fear, money, and mental strain, without losing its musical elegance. 2. Exile on Main Saint, The Rolling Stones. Steve Winwood valued Exile on Main Saint for its rawness and authenticity. He admired how the Stones captured a gritty, unfiltered sound that felt more like a live performance than a studio creation. The album's blend of rock, blues, soul, and gospel fascinated him, especially because it felt so spontaneous, as if every track emerged from late-night sessions filled with creativity and chaos. Winwood appreciated how the album embraced imperfections, slightly rough vocals, loose rhythms, and layered instrumentation that sounded organic rather than polished one. John Barleycorn Must Die, Traffic. For Steve Winwood, John Barleycorn Must Die held the most personal significance. It was an album that represented artistic freedom, growth, and the merging of genres in ways that felt deeply connected to his own identity. Winwood didn't choose it because it was his own work. He chose it because it symbolized a moment of bold exploration. The blend of jazz-rock fusion, folk storytelling, and progressive structures made the album stand out during its era. Winwood valued how the record allowed musicians to breathe, to improvise, experiment, and express themselves fully. These 10 albums represent more than just Steve Winwood's musical taste. They reflect the experiences, inspirations, and artistic values that guided him through one of the most remarkable careers in rock history. Each record captured something unique, whether a bold experiment, a heartfelt story, or a sound that changed the direction of music itself. Winwood's choices reveal a lifelong respect for creativity, craftsmanship, and emotional truth, the very qualities that defined his own work. As his journey continues to inspire new generations, these albums stand as reminders of the power music holds and the impact it leaves on those who live within it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the albums that shaped a legend, be sure to hit subscribe. More stories like this, from the artists who helped define entire eras, are on the way.